All right, I'm on a roll today. In my front door, ding ding. Open up the front door, there's a little package. Little package shows up, and there's a little package inside another little package inside another package with a whole bunch of packages. It's like, what the hell is this? And I open it up, and it says EA500 tuning kit. It's like, oh, shit. So I'm assuming I have Simgot to thank you for sending that one to me, and a non-thank you for creating a crazy amount of work to graph all these different choices, and then another thank you for me playing around with one of my favorite sets again. And from other peers, heard massively good things about the 500 level filter on the nozzle. So in this kit, I'm going to flip it around, show you a little bit of stuff that came in it, and play around a bit, talk a little bit, and show you some graphs. And if you get a chance to pick one of these things up, I'm not even sure if they're selling them, but you can pretty much do it yourself. But if they sell them, fantastic. And if you just want to take your regular nozzles and play around too, it might give you a bit of an idea, because I did that with the red nozzle, not so much the black. I just really liked the way that red one sounded. And for a couple people that said, hey, maybe the EA500 was a bit too much energy for them in the highs, I think you'll find this quite interesting. So let's jump into that and see where we go. Hey, before we go to all cray-cray on the showing you the different things, I wanted to show you guys something that you may not have seen before. So I bought this EA711 coupler. I bought this sound card, it hooks up to my laptop, uses USB-C. And a couple things you have to do when you get these two in. You have to ask for the file for your specific model of not just an EA711. There's actually different, I wouldn't say sub models, but I guess what's the word I'm using? It's not the version. It would just be, you know, they have a 5275 and a 1176. There's different mics. So you need a calibration file for that particular one that you received. And so you get that from when you buy it. Hopefully I did. And also you have to calibrate your sound card. So once you do that and you use a program called REW, and there is an absolute ton of work, by the way, to graph stuff. Not only graph, the graphing part is the easy part. Once you learn how to do it. Where's Rue? There is the TRTA3 I just did. Left and right. Very good channel balance, by the way. And so you just set up your preferences. Hold on for a sec. All right. And you when you do your testing. So for me, I always use the same foamy tips. Every IM is measured exactly on the same tips. I use SPC cable that I think I got one from, I think that's a Yanyan. It is. It came with my Canons. So in 3.5 goes into my sound card, and then you get into doing your graphing. Once you do your graphing, you save your file as the RAW file, and then you save your file. You export it as a text file, and then you got to go into I use FileZilla, and then you open up your, so now once this is now, so the graphing part is done, right? You've already saved your file, and now you want to upload it to Squig. Fantastic. Mark Ryan, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for your time, your effort. You are a gem in this industry, and you're a golden man. So much love. Anyway, you were instrumental, and you helped me set this up, made it super easy, and made it super easy to share with you guys. So I'm spending more time doing that as well, and it's a crazy amount. So the loading in the Squig. So you kind of need to learn how to do some programming. There was quite a learning curve for me. And then once you do the programming, and then you actually load into your database, and all that happy jazz goes in there. So it is in the programming. If you don't miss a comma or a space or word it correctly, you shit out of luck. Everything stops working, and you got to go back to where you fucked up and fix it. So you got to keep saving it, making your changes, and then if it works, then load it in. And once you load it in, then obviously then you can go to your Squig, and you can see the curves that you do. So it's all done in the graphing part is easy. The uploading to Squig, and you wonder why some reviewers don't share that, is because it's a tremendous amount of work. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you in case you wanted to know what you did there. So let's go see what we got in the kit, okay? All right. Let's have fun with filters. This was the little package I got. Do-it-yourself tuning kit for EA500. And I'm sorry if I don't get all this correct, because I have some of my own stuff that I had. You know, some people don't ever want to get into this, and that's totally fine. For me, it's like, okay, well, if I enjoy an IEM, and I really enjoy it, and I'm close. I mean, I tip roll, I cable roll, I source roll. I enjoy my music, and I want to get the best out of the IEM I'm playing with. And the tuning filters are just a simple, easy way of doing that. And I've got a bunch already that I've had from AliExpress, and you know, I label them 5 mil, and you can get them different size. In the Simgot, looks like 4.8 mil is the correct ones. And in this little package came like 4 mil by 5 mil gray sponge, which looks like a light density, and then 4 mil black sponge, and that's probably like a medium density. And then they give you 4 little sealing rings. They gave you 2 stainless steel nozzles, which are like an open slate, so you can start playing. And then they gave you 200, 300, and 500. And I also had my own 450, 500, whatever, right? So here's some other cool little stainless steel ones as well. On the one you get with the red and the black, you get a mesh filter over the nozzle, where the one in that came in the kit, it just has no mesh filter, so it's just kind of open. Here's one of the red filters. So you just basically take one of your filters, and in my video here and in my graphs, I use the 500 level. And you basically just pull this off the pad here, and you just apply it to the nozzle here. And I was fooling around with some of that. And then same as the sponges, right? So you can just take your sponge put it in the nozzle. I try to put it in fairly far, so and actually compact it down a little bit. And that's kind of how I did it. This is one of the red ones, and I'll show you some of the graphs as well that I did. I did a red nozzle with a 500 level filter, and then some different tuning sponges. This is a medium. I did one with 2 mediums, and I'll show you that. And then I did one with some low density foams as well. So it does make a slight difference, and it does, of course, make a difference in the high end. And the EA500 was already a pretty fantastic IM, but now if you can tweak it even more, it becomes a super awesome IM. So pretty fantastic. And I would recommend you pick up some of these filters and different things, and even one of the kits. It's just great to play around, just to tweak your IMs. So let's see if we can pull up Squig, and then I'll show you that. All right, here's my Squig, and let's go into Simgot. I've got a bunch now listed in here. So if we were looking at just the EA500 stock red nozzle, that's kind of what we're looking at there. You can see over here that it kind of has the taper off and the sub bass. Excellent glide into mid bass. And then this pin again. It follows my curve extremely well. I typically I like a little bit of a more bump around the 800 hertz, but it does it pretty well. And then there's a little bit more extension in the 4 to 5K up here before it has a dip down in here. So if I were to take now the red nozzle and I put a 500 level filter on it, you can see a couple of things that happened. It changes the pin again here, so less of into the, I'd say 1.5K, and it kind of, if I actually just take out the stock, oops, let's take out my target. Let's take out stock. And so here's the red nozzle with a 500 level filter, and I put a low density foam, which really doesn't do anything anyway, just show you. So what happened here is it actually just kind of nicely leveled off up here, nice little plateau. So even if you use the red one and you just put a 500 level filter on that, I think that's pretty great. Let's see what would happen now if I put the 500 level filter on the kit one that they provided, and low density foam. So very, very similar. Little bit more energy up here, and this is red nozzle versus kit nozzle, and so a little bit more energy here, really flattens out up top here. Little bit more extension over in the 6K. Really nice. This sounds fantastic. It's the best sounding version in my opinion. Without putting the little vent mod. So let's get rid of those two. And let's put the EA500 with the medium. Oh, look how smooth that is. Like, that's crazy. Like, look at that graph. It sounds like that too, which is pretty fantastic. So really, really gentle pin gain. No weird dips. Again, there's a little that slight dip at 6K, that energy. But anybody who thought that maybe the EA500 was too much energy for him, give this a shot. So this is the kit version nozzle with a 500 level filter and 2 medium density foams into the nozzle itself. Really nice. Now, let's go to some of the ones where I did where my tape mod. So that's medium. Okay, so here is the same, but now I've added some micropore tape, just one level, and it bumps up about 4 dB just in the sub bass region over here. Didn't change a whole bunch, but it did have a little bit less energy again in the 6K. So sub bass bump slightly, like that 1 dB isn't going to make too much of a noticeable difference anyway. And one more. So now this is the, with the kit, 500 level filter on the nozzle, low density foam, and the tape mod is the orange. That is golden. Let me get rid of all these. Just look at that. The difference between here and here. So overall, you're not much boosted like this way. What such a natural balanced IM is insane. Such a great slope, and because the bass hits with that mid bass thump, it's just so awesome sounding. And again, the really gradual glide from 1K all the way up, kind of goes over to 3, kind of plateaus over to 5. Sibilants dip right here, so get rid of any sibilants that ever could come over to your little ears. It's funny because I don't really get much of an 8K artifact peak at 8K, that maybe that bump a little bit, and then some extension around 12K, and I love that little, that adds presence, and it's a wonderful tuning. So that's me playing around, and I encourage you to do the same. And if I didn't say it before, I want to thank Simgot for just sending this over to me and letting me play, and I'm glad I could share this with you guys, and hopefully if you get a chance. That kind of sums up my little Simgot EA do-it-yourself tuning kit. Pretty awesome fun. Just takes a really fabulous IM. If you haven't purchased one, even though you're saying to yourself like I used to, you know, why buy a cheap IM? I already have some better ones. It's a pretty hard one to pass up. It really is fantastic value. This was a lot of fun. I thank Simgot for sending it to me and allowing me to play around, share it with you. And I hope you learned a little bit about doing the testing and uploading to Squig and what we have to do there. It is a ton of work. So when you see somebody posting their graphs and stuff on Squig, maybe do a reach out and a shout out and say thank you, because it really is some work. And you know, again, for people like me that are just doing this for fun, I'm trying to do it to help you out. Thanks much. This is Tone Deaf Monk. I'm out.